All right, guys, we are going to look at the current weather today, and I got a new tool called GRAnalyst. It's very expensive, but I am really interested in the weather, especially this time of year. There's not a whole lot to do. It's too cold. Anyway, looking at this huge trough here, very interesting events going on right now, and that's going to it's bringing snow into Texas, which is very unusual. And we are supposed to get Oklahoma City, we're supposed to get a little bit of ice and possibly snow. Too, my mom's in here in northeast Oklahoma, and she got some snow, which is, when we moved here, we thought we'd never get snow in here. We've already had it once, and we've had an ice storm, and now we're gonna get another snow. Anyway, this is interesting because I've been looking for some storms to chase from my desk, and I believe Reed Timmer is here right now, but down here in Louisiana and southern and southeastern Texas, they're getting some enhanced storms right now. If these were closer, I would go chase them, but I saw the weather channel said it's going to be very, very, very rainy, so these are going to be hard to find, maybe hidden, but the enhanced risk here. But let's take a look. This is GRAnalyst, and I've got my warnings window here, which I knew there were going to be storms here, but I finally found a real warning, and we're going to look at some of the data here. I'll show you what it can do. All right, I like GRAnalyst. I like it so far quite a bit because this is the really cool thing right here. You can do if we looked in this storm area, we can well, it seems like it's easier to use than GR level. I think it is. GR level 3. This is GR2Analyst. So we're looking at the base reflectivity, and this tool can do this. You can look into the sky in a 3D model of any storm and get kind of an idea of the severity of the storm and the height. And here we're at over 30,000 feet, 30 kilofeet. And you can draw lines. You can get rid of the greens if you want to look deeper into the storm. We're looking from north to south. You can look for columns in here, potential thunderstorm columns. Let me start this again. I'm going to zoom in on this cell right here and just do that area. All right, that's interesting. So we can see how high it goes, and we're looking from here, we're looking to the north, and we can start drawing out the lines we don't want to see. We don't want to see the greens. You only want to see the severe. You can draw everything out, but just do green. Wherever you draw the line over here is what you'll see. So you can draw out the greens and just see the reds and so forth. If I just want to see the reds, I might do something like that. But this gives you an idea, especially how tall it is and the shape of the storm. So this doesn't have any classical hook looking thing. If I had to guess, if there was a tornado, and there is a warning here, severe, it's a severe warning that any really bad weather would be over in this. Well, if there's a tornado, it would be here, but I assume all the hail and so forth would be there. But it's interesting to see how high these storms go. This tool has an echo top, and as you move your mouse around, down here on the bottom right, it tells you how tall the storms are, and that kind of gives you an idea of how strong they are too. Not always, but the taller the storm, the more power it has potentially. And what we have over here is a max of 36,000 feet. Very tall storms for now, because if you go to my area, there's nothing. And I'll show you that here in a second. But if you move your mouse around down here, we can see this storm is like 20 to 25,000 feet down here in the bottom. You can see it anywhere you put your mouse. If you put it over here, it's 0. Now this tool can also do you can cut through a storm like this, kind of bisect it like that if you want to see. Then you can swing it over and you can kind of get a view of it from it's a 3D view is what it is. But if you know you're down here, like if you're positioned here, this can give you an idea of where the strength of the storm is, like all the downflow, the rear flank downdraft, and the front flank downdraft, and that kind of stuff. All right, so we're going to watch this storm. If anything else interesting happens, I'll come back on. Okay, we got something interesting here. This is a little bit later, and we've got a warning here, tornado warning, severe. And if you zoom in, that's all interesting, but if you go to storm base velocity, well, earlier in here there was a difference. Let's go back. There we go, right there. That shows that the wind, this is the wind velocity. And by the way, if you right click, you can put on show range rings, and that tells you, this is really, I don't know why it's not on by default, but here is the radar, here is the storm, and you can tell the winds are blowing in red, they're blowing away from the radar, and the green is blowing towards. So in this case, this is interesting that there's a little blob blowing back towards the radar, so that would indicate possible cyclonic winds. But it looks like it dissipates very quickly, and they have a warning here, so that's a place of interest. What a great piece of software, man. This is just great. Base velocity, and if I can take my tool up here and we can take a look at this storm. Let's take a look at this area right here, this whole area. There's the coast. How cool is that? We can look and zoom in and see the structure of the storm based on the radar. And then there's a lot of greens in there. I'll get rid of some of the greens. I found that if you click it and go straight down with this, it's a good way to get rid of the color you don't want to see. And so here's the reds and yellows. Let's get rid of the yellows too. Let's just look at severe. There we go. There's just a little bit of severe stuff and a little bit of red in there. Interesting. Little bit of red, and that bit of puffiness here is from this little blob. Anyway, we'll go back here. So much fun playing with this software, man. I wish these storms were better, more pronounced, for my sake, not for the people that are underneath this. But all it is heavy rain. No big deal. Now, another tool I discovered, well, I knew about this, but I found a really good link, is the Goes East, GOES satellite. And all of these are similar, but if you click here, you can see a very, very nice map of the cloud system. It's almost mesmerizing to look at this. Just look at Florida down there, and look at what's amazing to me is look at the islands. That's Cuba. I know this is the Yucatan Peninsula. I've been here at Cozumel. Anyway, I've flown over. The first time I flew to Cozumel, and I looked down and saw these aqua blue below the blue. It was so amazing. I was like, wow, why don't we all live here? Anyway, this is that storm right here, and this is a very useful picture. Interestingly enough, I am right here, and it's really gray outside. Hopefully, well, I don't know what's going to happen. It's probably going to get worse or stay the same. I'm really right here, and I'm really gray outside. It's just a white ceiling right now. But this storm system right here is amazing. Now, what else you can do here on this is go to the animation loop. Isn't that awesome? Look at that. I mean, you can just see that line right there so well. You can see all that turbulence. I saw this on the Weather Channel, well, their version of it, and look how you can see how this is rotating right there. I bet you see how that's going that way? I bet you anything that's the low pressure right here. Isn't that cool? It's kind of cool when you start to find these tools and they make sense, and you realize, man, I'm looking at the clouds from above down. I know this technology's been around a long time, but I'm discovering it, I'm enjoying it, and I'm telling you about it. So if you go here to, all you should do is Google Goes Conus GeoColor or something, and then if you go back, we're just learning together, man. I'm just playing right now. So I'm not pretending to be an expert. I'm just playing with some tools and showing you what they're like. But if we go to, hang on, we go to Gozies. You can pick some of these other colors. They basically changing the colors and changing the schemes. It's basically the same thing, though, I believe. So red, green, blue is just a better way to see the same thing. You can kind of see through some of the you can just see the stronger types, like right here. Oh, the animation loop. What else you can do is you can loop for longer. Look at that. You can loop for the nighttime into the daytime. So look at all the city lights there, all the way up until now. See the city lights? We got a clear spot in here. You know, I'm going to start using this when I travel. I want to know what's going on, but look at all that. It's just freaking amazing that we can do this. Just imagine being out there on the ocean, you know, and you can see these cirrus clouds coming by, and you can see, that looks like the sailor's warning. What do they call it? Fish scales. Oh, I had to look it up. I forgot. I have a bad memory of getting older. Mackerel sky. Mackerel sky is a common term made up of rows of cirrocumulus and altocumulus clouds displaying an undulating rippling pattern in appearance. It means something. It means that rain or something is going to come the next day. Mare's tail and mackerel skies. Well, the reason I say that is that's what this looks like over here on the right. Mackerel skies. Anyway, this is the point of interest. It's the only storms we have right now. And so I'm looking at them on GRAnalyst. And once again, we could look at the echo tops and see. Well, you're looking like from the top down now. And as you move your cursor, it's telling you how high these storms are. And that's kind of an indication of how much power they are. Earlier today, the highest I could find was 34,000 feet. And now it's 40,000 feet. So we're at 40,000 feet right about here. And I can take my little tool. That's what she said. I can take my little tool and see. Is it really pressing? Yep. You can see the 40,000 feet now. That's the blue stuff is reaching pretty high up there. I mean, for December, late December, we're pretty high in the sky. And if you can take, by the way, you can do historical data with this tool. And I'm not going to do it right now. I'm going to focus on the storm, but you can take. We're at about 40 degrees. This is the result of that system in northeastern, mid-Oklahoma. That's what I'll just say. Record-breaking snow, New Year's Day. Average is 2.5 inches, and we got 3 to 4 inches of snow. We've already seen, since we've been here for 6 months, we moved here, we have seen, he does not like it outside. That's Twister, by the way. Meet Twister. That's his name. Since we moved here 6 months ago, we've had one ice storm, which is why all those branches and trees are down. We've had 2 snowfalls. Last night about midnight, it was ice, it was sleet. And then the snow fell, and no big deal. It's New Year's Day. We're just staying at home, not going to drive or anything. Got to put up those Christmas decorations. Well, welcome 2021. This is the result. And he's eating snow. Come on, Twister. Good dog. It's actually not cold out. I'm actually in shorts because it's there's no wind. Whenever there's no wind, it's all I ask, you know? That's all I ask is no wind. I don't care if it's 0 degrees. As long as there's no wind, it's not that bad. The second the wind kicks up, it's horrible. All right, guys, this was the result. Say hello to Twister. He's going to be in a lot of videos.